Hi there. So I'm going to show you the inspo for this in just a minute after I take my gloves off. But for starters, I have my 20-ounce Modern Curve from Hog, Stainless Steel Depot, I mean. Got it base painted with grape. It's been sitting here a couple days because things have been busy. I've got some Mr. Nolas Fast Set. They call it Speed Dry. And I'm going to put a real thin layer on here. And then we are going to kind of waterfall. It's going to be like a reverse ombre. Most ombres you see the thickness here and it dissipates as it comes up. We're going to do it the opposite for this time. So we're going to put a real thin layer. And honestly, you wouldn't even have to do a layer down here if you didn't want to. You don't have to do it past wherever you want your ombre to go. But I'm going to do a thin layer all over just for good measure. And then once it sets up, I'm going to put my little logo on the bottom right there. There we go. When you're doing epoxy method glitter application, if you're not already familiar with that, you want it to be pretty thin. Unless you're doing a chunky glitter. And I apparently already have glitter on me. Don't even know where that glitter came from. Probably the countertop. I'll show you the colors in just a second. You probably already figured it out by the thumbnail though. All right, super duper thin. Reason why we need to go really thin on here is when you're using a fine glitter, if there's too much epoxy, it kind of sinks down in there and it almost looks like a flat spot, a wet spot, whatever you want to call it. So I'm just going to wipe off some of this excess here. Let that sit for just a minute. Kind of smooth out just a hair while I open up my glitter. Put it over here, not there. Set it right there for a minute. Theoretically, this is so thin that you don't even have to put it on your turner because it's too thin to go anywhere. But sometimes it happens that it's a little thicker than intended. But since I need to take my glove off for that, I'll show you the inspo. It's right here. It's my fingernails. For the grand reveal. So we've got our nice thin layer here. I've actually had it upright like this for a good 5 minutes because I was using that leftover epoxy. And it's thin enough that it is not even trying to come over the edge there, which is right where we need it. So here's the reveal. So when I went to get my nails done this past weekend, I went in with something else in mind, but I couldn't find the color I was looking for. So I ended up with these two colors, and I'm like, that would make a great cup. So here we are. I'm going to use my Hollow Rose Gold. There are several different cuts of this on Fran's website. This is an oldie from Fran's Glitter and More. We've got Dawson, which is super similar. It's a bigger cut and it has these adorable little stars in there. We've got Rose Dew, which is similar. It's a little deeper, darker, and a little bit more orange. Nightlife is kind of like a brighter version. It's gorgeous too. And then Sunfire is a more orangey version of it, but we're doing this one. So we're going to raise this up. Ignore the mess off to the side. That's my dump jar, so to speak. So we're going to go at this angle here. And we're just going to kind of reverse ombre it. This angle allows it to kind of roll down kind of far, not too far. You don't want a complete upright angle. Ooh, and you don't want to dump it as fast as I'm dumping it. And just go all the way around. You can fill in the bald spots on the top in just a minute. That went all the way to the bottom. Don't do that. But that's kind of the gist of it there. I'm going to come over here and fill this up, and since I got it all the way down there, I'm going to kind of make it match over here. Grr. I totally had streaks in my epoxy. It's so thin that it's hard to see. So what I'll end up doing on this, I'm not going to strip it, but what I'll do is let this completely cure. I'll do another thin layer on top of it and kind of compensate and camouflage that. I went ahead and went pretty close to the bottom, super thin on that. It's still really pretty. Still kind of giving that vibe. And then I threw a little sprinkle on the bottom. And now I'm going to throw one of my little hex logos that I showed you in another video. I think it was a live, just a couple of videos below this one. But what we're going to do here, I'm going to wait for this to cure just a teensy bit more. But when I'm done, I'm going to put this. I still have to take the little plastic off of it. I'm going to put this right in the middle. No, I'm not. This cup, I can't do that. What is wrong with me? Oh my gee. Okay, I'm going to put it right there. But I still want this epoxy to set up better so that it'll adhere properly. So I'm actually fixing this with hairspray. I'm not going to wait for it to cure. It's actually doing exactly what I needed to do, and I've done that before. It's a great in a pinch fix. I use the old school Aquanet. It's a good save. Not perfect, but that's okay. This is handmade. It's not going to be perfect. Might be close, but probably not going to be perfect. So sorry if I was off camera. That little dark spot right there is because I got a little too heavy-handed. Smooth it out. Not like that. Having a moment. Since I'm just doing the touch-up, I'm not really trying to get the waterfall effect anymore. I'm just treating it like a regular ombre, just upside down. Okay, I'm gonna walk away from this now. I'll probably do one last layer of hairspray and something thin right there just to kind of even that out. But as of this moment, it looks way better in person than it does on camera. Sometimes the cameras are not forgiving. And like I said, I can't put that logo on the bottom. I don't know what I was thinking. But what I am going to do is let this set just a minute, and then I'm going to put it right there. The only disadvantage to those is they're flat and this is curved, so I'll have a little bit of a weirdness right there. One of these days I will figure out how to heat them up and curve them, but today is not that day. Almost done. I've got 2 layers of Mr. Nolas Speed Dry. I love that stuff. I bounce between it and Liquidy Split. You can see I still need to clean up my inside, but I went around my rim with my flap wheel. I probably won't do a video on that because I am not steady-handed and it's a very messy situation there. But I like it. It's so pretty. It's pretty close. I probably should have gone a little lighter there. No biggie though. And I'm not sold on that. I like it on the bottom on the ones that have the indentation right there. I don't dislike it. It just needs one more layer. Sanding and one more layer. And I gotta figure out what to put on there. So thanks for sticking with me. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It's not anything fancy, but it's pretty. Have a good one.